This is Mr. And what I have for you today is a tip on using wall breakers with a queen charge. Now the tip basically is bring more wall breakers than what you need. It's a little bit of a tongue twister. More wall breakers. So if you need one for a test and then you need 3 and that one gets destroyed, say from a little bomb, and then you need 3 to crack the wall open, that's 4. That's what you need. Then the tip is bring more than what you need, because you just never know. Something squirrely might happen, as you're about to see here with this attack. Now also the logic is this: if you've brought the extra 1 or 2 extra wall breakers, maybe you only need 1 extra one on top of what you need. If that's what you've brought, then if you can say to yourself, looking at that troop combo that you're using, just watch his wall breakers. He's had the test wall breaker come in here now. He's dropped the rage spell. He's got another 3 wall breakers coming, a little bit rage still, and boom, taken out by the archer and the expo. So he didn't get them in, but he had an extra wall breaker, had extra wall breakers up his sleeve. Now the thing is with this, bringing extra wall breakers, if your raid does not have the room within the troops to spare an extra 2 or 4 troop space for the extra wall breakers, and your raid could fail if you did that, that's a very knife edge raid right there to begin with. Maybe you should rethink the raid. In other words, if the success or failure on your raid is going to depend on the 4 troop space or 2 troop space that you might devote to an extra wall breaker, then that's already knife edge sort of stuff. It's already, anything could happen to those extra troops, because for instance these ones coming in, a hog is 5 troop space, that's like 1 extra hog getting sprung off the map. And if you're that close, if your plan is that close to a success or a failure, that it all depends on whether or not a single hog can get sprung off the trap, off the face of battle, that's before you even know where the spring traps are, of course, is what I'm saying. Because yes, spring traps can save a base and they can ruin an attack. However, if your plan going in before you've even hit the base is that knife edge, that the equivalent of 1 hog getting sprung off will end the raid, then maybe it's not such a good plan to begin with. In essence, you should always be able to spare 2 to 4 troop space to bring in extra wall breakers when you're going to do a queen charge. If you're not going to do a queen charge, then it doesn't really matter. And if you don't want to use the wall breakers, then you just do what I do on some queen charges, and that is I'll just bring a jump spell. And I know that a lot of people will use an earthquake spell to just open up the whole area and whatnot. My personal thing is I will personally use a jump spell. However, there is a time and a place when an earthquake spell is warranted. So let's have a look at this again. So here we are coming in, and I'll just pause it here and zoom in. Okay, now let's have a look at what happens to the wall breakers now that I've drawn your attention to it. So this is the area we're going to look for the test wall breaker to come in. Wizard's distracted, that's great. Wall breaker didn't make it to the wall, but there's no bombs there. So if we can get these other wall breakers in now, but we're doing other things. So we've got the king up there at the moment. So here come the wall breakers, and just not quite enough, or even though they were raged, because there wasn't enough of them left to blow up once the archer and the expo hit. That's the result, is what we see. Now we're going to see the last wall breaker coming in over here now. Obviously did not, trying to get that wall breaker to come in through the rage, try and get onto the eagle artillery. That didn't work because of the pathing, because of the way everything was already broken down at that stage. Okay, we've zoomed back out. Let's continue. So that's one of those little things, call it like a little bit of a plan B. What if my wall breaker fails? What if my first test and my 3 wall breakers fail? What will I do then? It's one of the questions that I think we should all be asking when we do a queen walk or a queen charge. For instance, if we're going to do a queen walk and we want her to go one way, we have to ask the question, what if my funneling doesn't work and she goes the other way? What will I do then? If we ask that question first, then we come up with an answer for it, then we're not surprised when it happens, and whatever we do to answer that question then looks like it's a plan. And then the person whose base falls wouldn't ever know that that wasn't part of the plan to begin with. Little did they know that we actually had a contingency plan. We had the main plan of the queen going the way we wanted, and then we had a contingency plan if she didn't go that way, how we were going to try and salvage it. Instead of just having that one plan, we have a backup plan. Same with the wall breakers. If the wall breakers don't work, what am I going to do? I'm going to have extra wall breakers. So this looks like a smart move on the attacker now. It's like, wow, lucky he brought extra wall breakers. All he had to do was ask the question, what if my wall breakers fail? Oh, I need extra wall breakers. Great, I'll bring extra wall breakers then. So just prudent planning in the attack, that's all it is. In any case, that's all I've got for this video. If you have any questions or comments about that particular queen charge tip, do leave them down below. If you've gotten something out of this, please subscribe to the channel. And as always, thanks for watching.